Mom Matters, created by moms for moms. This is a safe space for moms' voices to be heard and for us to lean in and support each other. Menopause supporters is what we're talking about today. Why? Because of this. Experts estimate about 1 to 1.2 billion women globally are experiencing menopause. It's a hormonal life transition that can last 10 to 15 years, and its challenges not only impact the women growing through it, but their partners and their families as well. So here to talk further is Hannah Underdahl. So good to have you here, Hannah.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you and I, we've talked about menopause quite a bit, and we talked about the symptoms. If you want to know more, you can go back to our previous conversations with Hannah to dive into the weeds of menopause itself. But today I want to talk about how menopause is not only impacting those going through it, but as mentioned, the family unit. How can this be a challenge for a family unit?
Yeah, I might even broaden it and say, how is this a challenge for the world? Because most people know a female, love a female, might even live with a female, and this is an experience that every single female will go through at some point in their life. So menopause supporters are really our entire culture and society. In the home, it's so important to understand that any female between the ages of like 35 and sometimes even earlier and 55 or so is at some point going to go through this transition. And the people going through it feel crazy, they feel gaslit, they don't have answers, they're trying their best. So grace, patience, and just asking, instead of being silent, just asking, is there anything I can do? Do you want to talk about anything? Could really help.
Yeah, it really could help. Let's talk about challenges that couples experience. Yes.
Okay. So on behalf of Western culture and the medical society, I would like to apologize to everyone for the misinformation around menopause and the lack of education, both in medical communities and just in educational communities. And what you can do actually is you can start to educate yourself, because it should not be the menopausal person's responsibility to navigate their own healthcare and life transition and educate everyone else around them. So just some basic information, either from the Menopause Society website. I would urge you to stay off of most things on Instagram and TikTok, but there are some really good things on there too. But to speak to your point about women feeling kind of isolated and alone, first we need to really put our foot down and say women matter. After their reproductive years, if they've chosen to reproduce, if they're physiologically able to reproduce, after those years, they still matter. And we're still hung up on that as a culture.
Yes, we are. How can women dealing with menopause communicate their needs to their supporters, to their families, when they know their families are probably feeling a little bit of stress because they're not understanding what's happening with mom or with their partner, and yet still remain true to themselves? Hannah, how do we accomplish this, Hannah? I know you have all the answers, Hannah. No, I'm just kidding.
You absolutely cannot do it alone. We were never meant to do this alone. So find your friends, find a practitioner that can help escort you, hold your hand through this process. And if you do not like the one you are seeing now, or if you do not like the answers you are getting now, I don't want to put another burden on women, but get a second opinion, get a third opinion, because you do matter. So that's how to advocate for ourselves. And as partners and family members, what if you woke up one day and your brain no longer worked? If you had new onset panic, if you couldn't control your temperature, if you had scary symptoms like heart palpitations or new onset debilitating vertigo, you would be terrified, and you would expect and hope those around you to support you. And that is what many women going through the transition are experiencing.